without further ado, love to introduce you to Matteo, Mr. Short Notice, but very involved in the Bernie Social brand. He's going to take you through this wonderful product that we're really, really excited about. Matteo, up to you. Fist bump. You're on show. I'll be back later.
All righty, guys. How is everyone? I know we're not really talking back in this time, but that's all right. So first things first, just wanted to kind of go over a little bit of an overview about all the products that we're kind of using and talking about today. So the two main ones are these two guys. So the Mandaretto and the Limoncello. But we'll also be using Bernie Social, the Alchemist Gin, which is a product that is distilled by Jacob Wicks, the bartender who was meant to be here, but unfortunately couldn't. That's all right. So it's, oh, okay. Sounds coming through again. Never mind. All right. So that Bernie Social Gin produced out in a distillery out in Richmond, Ironbark Distillery. We kind of worked with them to produce it. So really high juniper content. So it really is truly a gin, but it doesn't drink like it. Lots of lemon myrtle, which is Australian native. And then the main kind of ingredient that Jacob wanted to add into it was Madagascan vanilla, which really shines through at the end. Jacob's a big whiskey drinker, and so he wanted to make a gin that could be drunk like a whiskey. So neat. But today we're here to talk about these two. So the Mandaretto and the Limoncello. I can personally guarantee you that they were painstakingly hand peeled and made by me and by Jacob and Yang, who were the other two bartenders who were a part of it during the lockdown, which is when we started producing this stuff. We literally bought 150 kilos of mandarins, 150 kilos of lemons, of oranges, blood oranges, and grapefruit. And we spent about a week sitting there on chairs, peeling each one. Each one took about a day to peel all this fruits, collect all the peels, and then we did something called a maceration. So we dumped it all in a big tub, and then we covered it with something called ENA, extra neutral alcohol, which is something you get if you've got connections to a distillery. But it's basically 96% alcohol at food grade. So it's not just your basic cleaning alcohol. Don't use that if you want to make this at home. You got to get the good stuff. But we left it there for a long time, few weeks, some up to a month, depending on how the maceration was going. And then after that, we added sugar and water, and that was it. It's a really simple product, really, really easy to make at home. But I promise you, this stuff is better than anything you can make at home. I know because I've personally tried to make it at home, and it just doesn't, it's never come out as good for me. So we'll go into a little bit of the history of each of these products. So Limoncello is kind of the most well-known of these types of liqueurs, and it's kind of the one that's the base standard in Italy. Everyone makes it. So it's very much a family tradition in Italy. So families will buy lemons in the season when the lemons are around. They'll buy heaps of them. They'll make it at home themselves, kind of thing. It's a big family tradition in Italy. But proper limoncello, which is kind of fits the definition of absolute limoncello, has to be made with lemons made from the Amalfi Coast. So the Amalfi Coast is a little region in Italy, and they have these really cool, weird lemons. They're about yay big, and they are just full of peel. Like their peel is about that thick, but their peel is also super sweet. It's a really weird species of lemon, but it's absolutely delicious. And that's where the whole limoncello movement came about. So limoncello produced by Italian families mostly. It's a family tradition, but also the proper stuff made from proper Amalfi lemons. Next, Mandaretto, this lovely stuff. So you can probably guess, basically limoncello, but instead of lemons, we use mandarins. So this one, less of a common spirit in Italy. It's more contained to the Sicily region of Italy, and it's very much a seasonal kind of thing. So when mandarins are really nice and there's lots of mandarins, that's when families and distilleries tend to make a little bit of Mandaretto. But it's not as common as limoncello, but still super, super delicious, trust me. So again, like I said, hand peeled, macerated in ethanol for a long, long time. We added sugar and water, which we had to do in the Sereno's kitchen by getting these massive stock pots and filling them with literally like bags. Like literally we'd cut open a bag and just dump the whole bag in of sugar. And so the sugar, the water, and the alcohol, which macerated in with those citrus peels, that comes together to create this beautiful, velvety, absolutely delicious liqueur. Great as an aperitif and great as a dessert, and absolutely delicious to be used in certain cocktails, which we're going to run through a few of them now. So if everyone's ready, I can start running you through how we're going to make some drinks. So
I think we're ready.
Think we're ready? All right, the first drink we're going to make, actually, before we run through drinks, I should probably run through what you might need to make those drinks, right? So you're going to need one of these, which is a Toby tin and a Boston tin, right? And these clack together and you can shake, right? So you don't super need, you can make do if you don't have one of those, figure something out. You can use, I've used protein shakers in the past to make cocktails. You can use them using a big jar. As long as it seals and you can shake it and it's not going to break when you shake it, you should be okay. However, trust me when I say this is kind of the easiest stuff to work with. Next, you're going to need something to strain out the ice because you don't want ice in your drink after you shake it. You kind of want to get that out of there. That way the drink's nice and clean. So the two are this one, which is a Hawthorne strainer. This is to get the big chunks of ice out. And then this one, which is the fine mesh strainer. That gets the little ice chips out, any little pieces of lemon that have gotten through from the juice, especially if you're using fresh juice citrus, which is always kind of the gold standard. Always try to do that if you can. But without further ado, let's get into the drinks. So first drink we're going to make is called Yamiche. So, you know, Yamiche, Amalfi, it's kind of the same thing. Yamiche Limoncello, that's the stuff we've made. So it's a really easy, simple, equal parts drink. 30 mils of gin, which we're going to use our Alchemist gin because why not? We've got it. We'd love to showcase how good it is. 30 mils of limoncello and then 30 mils of lemon juice. Right? I might move the Mandaretto just so we don't get confused. Put all that there together. But those are the three ingredients we're going to use. So first off, we're going to put some gin in. Should have said the last thing you're going to need, the last piece of equipment you're going to need is one of these because I forgot. This is a jigger. So it's just a measurement tool. Usually it comes in 30 and 15 mil increments just because those are the increments used by bartenders. Really, really important if you want consistent drinks because you really got to make sure that you're measuring accurately and making the drinks the same way every time. So 30 mils of gin. Might move that way you can see a bit better. 30 mils of our handcrafted limoncello. Make sure I got the right bottle. And 30 mils of lemon juice. Get our glass ready before we shake because we want to be able to shake and strain it right into the glass as soon as it's ready. Yeah, so we want to add the ice last because as soon as you add the ice, you're kind of on a time limit. So the ice dilution is super important, but we don't want to over dilute the drink. So we add ice as soon as we're ready to shake, and we want to shake straight away. Give our cocktail shaker a nice little seal. Now you'll notice that the tin is super frosty. That's kind of where you want it to be. You almost want it to hurt your hand from how cold it is. Then you know it's kind of ready. That's the point you want to be at. Give it a nice crack, which takes some practice, but don't worry, you will get there. Try to crack it like against the spine. So find the spine of the shaker when you crack it together, crack it against that way. Going to get our Hawthorne strainer, put it in with the springs down because that's how we're going to catch all that lovely ice. Pour it straight into the glass. Now, optionally, if you want and you're feeling a bit fancy, you can do a little bit of a lemon peel garnish, which you don't need to do, but it does add a little special something. Express it onto the drink, put it in, you're good to go. Back, guys, it's the Yamiche. Enjoy. Well, if everyone's happy to move on, we're going to do the next drink. Now, the next drink is a stirred drink. So you don't technically need one of these to make a stirred drink. You don't. It's always nice, and I've got one, so I might as well use one. But with a stirred drink, it's absolutely okay to make it in the glass if you don't have the equipment to make it. Doesn't matter. This is one of those drinks where you can really make it pretty much no matter what. You can make it with very minimal equipment. So the next drink we're going to make is called the Don. So it takes kind of a 180 turn on the last drink we made. So the last drink we made was shaken, it was citrusy, it was bright. The next drink is kind of going to be like stirred down, boozy, absolutely delicious, and just kind of a bit more smooth, right? So the next drink, we're going to use some lovely bourbon. So Wild Turkey, it's absolutely one of my favorite bourbons, especially for cocktails. It's got a really high rye content for a bourbon. So it's got a bit more spice, a bit more backbone, holds up nicely in cocktails, doesn't lose itself in cocktails. And our Mandaretto, which is, you know, the mandarin liqueur. So painstakingly peeled. They were the worst to peel, by the way, because you couldn't use a peeler. You had to literally rip the skins off each and every single one of them. Our hands were like orange by the end of it. It was carpal tunnel syndrome by citrus. And then the last ingredient is some Angostura bitters. Absolutely delicious and lemon lime bitters, old fashions. You know, if you want to have a bar at home, you absolutely need to have Angostura bitters. This is a must-have ingredient. So for this one, we're going to double check. Just wanted to see if there was another jigger. That's all right. So we are going to start with our bourbon. We're going to put 45 mils of bourbon in, right? The bourbon is kind of the base ingredient of this whole drink. So we're going to go. I'll move that out of the way so everyone can see what I'm doing. All right. We're going to go 45 mils of bourbon. So because I don't have one of my nice jiggers from Sereno's that has the 45 measurement in one, I'm going to go a 30 and then a 15. Right? Easy as you like. You can see me there in Sereno's. Actually, that's me doing the photo shoot for this drink anyway.
So you were the right guy for the job.
I was the right guy for today, apparently. So next, we're going to put in 15 mils of our Mandaretto. And this is kind of going to be the sweetness factor as well. Usually in a stirred down drink like this, you might add some simple syrup, or you might add a liqueur that's sweet. So in this case, we're going to be using the Mandaretto just to add a bit of sweetness to it. That way it's not just booze, right? And then we're going to add 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Now, be careful when adding Angostura bitters, particularly from a big bottle. We have little dasher bottles at work for reasons that mean that we can control the amount a bit more, but you don't want to put too much in. That did not come out as well as I thought it would. You don't want to put too much in because Angostura bitters can really take over a drink. It's really, really powerful, really, really flavorsome. So you don't really want to overdo it. So next, this drink is going to have ice in the glass. It's not going to be served up. It's going to be served down over rocks. So we want to have ice in the glass. A couple of reasons for that. We really want to make sure that our glass is cold because we don't want it to seep away all the cool, nice coldness that we just helped put into the drink that we made. And as well, get it ready because like I said, the last thing you want to do is add ice to the drink. And you want to do that as the absolute last thing before you pour it into your glass. All right. Next, we're going to add ice to our stirring glass. Now, contrary to popular opinion, you want to add a lot of ice because a lot of ice means that the drink actually dilutes less. It gets colder before it gets super watery. So we're just going to stir it around a little bit.
These drinks are going to be available across our venues.
As far as I know, yeah.
Bella Vista, Hillside Hotel, and all the Memento venues will be selling these drinks over the next month.
Awesome. Yeah, so as you, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I just put a little bit on the back of my hand and tasted it. That's how we test for dilution. There's no other way other than tasting it. So we've really just got to make sure that it's in the right spot where we want it. So for this one, we don't need a fine mesh strainer. We can just put the Hawthorne over it. Lovely. Pour right into the glass. Now for this one, again, if you want to go super fancy, you can do a peel. You can do a citrus peel. You got a bit more freedom with this one. Whoa, ho, ho. Almost lost the citrus there. You've got a bit more freedom with this one. You can either do lemon, you can do orange. Try to do a few things. It's just to give it a little bit of brightness, liven up the drink, wake it all up. Have it in there. That's the Don, guys.
Ooh,
enjoy.
Mandarin, bourbon, and bitters.
Absolutely.
Oh, very nice.
Comes together gorgeously. Trust me. If you don't think bourbon and citrus works together, I've got a lot of drinks to change your mind. So
seems simple, but
A lot of the time, simplicity is key. Most classic cocktails don't have that many ingredients in them, and kind of that's one of the ethos, for lack of a better word, that I try to follow when making drinks is less is more, right? You want to be able to taste all the ingredients you're putting in there. Otherwise, why are you putting them in there, right? Absolutely delicious drink. Please try it. It's super easy as well because you can build this one in the glass. There's no need for that fancy cocktail stirring glass that I had. You can make this one in the glass, super, super easy.
I'll just make mention, we are doing a bundle of those products for people that are interested, just to get everything together.
Yeah, awesome.
Through those 2 links there. So I'll put them in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gin, the limoncello, the mandaretto, and you can pick it up around one of our videos again.
Yeah, beauty. I will say, guys, I personally have both one of the mandarettos and one of the gins at home on my bar, and I do duck into them fairly regularly. They're quite tasty.
I'll just put those links up too, mate.
Thank
you very much. And yeah, any questions, I guess?
Yeah, so if we want to shoot me any questions, please feel free.
You can unmute yourself if you're online.
With the Yamiche, the one I'm having, and I didn't have your limoncello, so maybe that's a difference, but it is quite a tart drink. Could you put a little couple of drops of simple syrup in there just to take the edge off that?
These drinks, because limoncello is one of those things that varies quite a bit in sweetness, it's going to depend on which limoncello you use, how much you're using, the citrus on the particular day. So when we're working in the bar, behind the bar, we taste drinks, doing that thing that I did with the spoon on the back of the hand. We taste drinks before we add ice to them. So particularly anything with citrus, in which it might come out inconsistent because citrus juice changes, you know, different batch of citrus might be more or less sour than the last. So we literally taste the drink, put it on the back of our hand, taste it, make sure the acidity is in the right spot, and then we adjust it. We might add a little bit more simple syrup. We might add a bit more of the syrup that we were particularly using because we got a lot of them. Or in the case like this, yeah, we could add a bit more limoncello. It depends if the citrus is in the right, like the lemon flavor is in the right spot, but it's just a bit too tart because of the citrus juice, then maybe add a little bit of simple syrup. If you want a bit more limoncello kind of flavor through there, you could just add a bit more limoncello. Then you've got a stronger drink, which I'm not condoning just getting drunk. Let me clarify, but yeah.
We also got a question from Kristen. What else would you pair the mandarin with?
The mandarin, that kind of depends what kind of direction you want to go. So what kind of spirits do you like to drink? Because once we know that, then we can kind of figure out what you like, because this can really go any direction. If you structure a drink well, you can really pair citrus with any base spirit. So if you like tequila, then mandarin, tequila, some lime juice.
Mandarin marg.
Yeah, basically a mandarin marg, and it'd go really tasty. You might not want to add any sugar to that one because the Cointreau is quite a dry spirit, and you're swapping that out for mandaretto, so it might be a touch more sweet, so maybe don't add any citrus to it. But if not, you could do something like a Diablo, which is tequila. It's usually creme de cassis, which is a blackberry liqueur, but instead you could use the mandaretto. Then you can top it up with ginger beer. I'm sure that'd be absolutely delicious. I kind of want to try that now. With rum, you could go so many directions. Rum is such a, particularly because rum gets used in a lot of tiki drinks where there's a lot of different ingredients. You can kind of pair rum with pretty much any liqueur, figure out a way to kind of balance the drink, and then you're golden. Gin is kind of the obvious choice for me because gin and citrus go together like nothing else. It's just an absolutely gorgeous pairing. But beyond that, yeah, like literally any spirit you can think of, find a classic cocktail and try and sub in your mandaretto, and then you'll be good.
Let's just make mention of too, Matteo, that these cocktails are going to be on special the whole month across our venues. So the Bella Vista Hotel, Hillstone Hotel, Governor, the Duke, and if I missed one, Melane's Hotel downstairs, $15. And also we're going to do some giveaways as well. So, if, you know, we've got, obviously, if you're not in the northwest of Sydney, it might be a bit hard.
Look, you just got to make it out here. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, that's right. and yeah, you've heard the man. Especially up to Serenos. It's a beautiful spot.
Absolutely. Please come up. Let me know you're on the class, and I'll absolutely try my best to show you a good time.
All right. Well, congratulations to the prize winners. I might just come out and join you quickly again, mate.
100%.
Look, thanks, Matteo. Always a pleasure. Stay here.
Stay here.
Really lucky to get this guy. As we said, Jacob, who's really was the brainchild behind this. Some of these, I guess, the components, the products. He was really sick today. This guy, legend that he is, turns up, does his thing, and he just came in and just blew it out of the water. Thank you so much, mate.
No,
I'm looking forward to sipping on that Yamiche afterwards.
100%.
Congratulations to the prize winners. I did want to just make mention again, you know, if you love cocktails, you love getting people together, that's what we're all about with Vice. And this is a little bit of a taster, I guess. Also just showing a new brand that we thought our community might be interested in. If you do want to get people together face-to-face, online, or a bit of both, drop us a line. We're at vicemasterclass.com.au. There's also a whole bunch of training videos there, all these cocktails videos that we did during lockdown when we didn't have a lot else to do. They're all available for free, so you can sign up there and have a look at those. Mate, been a pleasure. I know you've got soccer practice to get to.
I do.
And people at home probably got kids to put to bed.
They've probably got to go pick their kids up from soccer practice.
That might be it. Guys, we do this every month. We feature a different brand every month. This month was all about Bernie Social because we're very proud of this brand. It's crafted here in the hills. And there's the website for that, by the way, is berniesocial.com.au. Next month, we're doing,
I don't
know. Cointreau. Now,
lovely.
The brand, the cocktail brand Cointreau. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that one. So join us. You'll see about it on our socials. Have fun. We'll see you next month, if not before. And thanks again. Bye for now.
Thanks, guys. See you.